just when you think we're going to relax and ride a while, Alex Hayden, all of a sudden somebody will step out of line and it's on again. And well, it's on again, yet again, here at Talladega.
Yeah, it's an amazing matter of skill out there for all these drivers, holding the steering wheels and keeping the right foot planted to the floorboard on the accelerator. There's been a couple of times, Jeff, that all of us collectively said, oh, okay, here's the crash. Oh, they didn't crash. They got away with it. These trucks are dancing around all over the racetrack. It doesn't matter what lane you're in, and things are getting even more aggressive. It's hard to put into words, but every single lap that passes by, it gets more aggressive.
Why don't we touch base with the postman and the bagman on this? How frustrating does it have to be, Mike? You line up on the inside of the racetrack thinking that's the lane that's going to...
Whoa, look out, trouble back straightaway. Zane Smith, Austin Hill, Tanner Gray, half the field is crashing. Johnny Sauter is in the mix as everybody will crash and collide up the end of the Alabama Gang super stretch. Chandler Smith, others involved as well. Kyle Rickey, the crash continues over to your neck of the woods.
Chris Wright, Haley Deegan go spinning down to the racetrack in the back half of the field, including John Hunter Nemechek, and also the Cody Rohrbar trucks get their machines woed up in the outside lane. A lot of damaged trucks to the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 4.
Well, by our count, only 7 trucks have just come by our position in the tri-oval that did not have damage. We're still waiting for other trucks to make it around here. It is going to be a junkyard on the pit lane. Here comes Hill. He'll bring his truck by. So Tyler Hill got through that mess. He's going to be scored in the 8th spot. Danny Bone, Cody Rohrball, they're going to come through here with no damage. It looks like Ben Rhodes is going to come by with no damage. Carson Hocevar gets through with no damage. So, Jeff, the big one that we were talking about, you as a matter of fact were just setting up, when is it going to take place?
Well, you got to wonder, in Bagley, that's what we were talking about, Mike, out there at the end of the Alabama Gang super stretch. The frustration must just build to a boiling point. You keep trying a lane, it doesn't work. You think you're going to the front, next thing you're going to the back. All of it boiled over just a moment ago in front of you.
Well, it's been building ever since we dropped the green flag here today, and we had talked earlier about how the first 2 stages seemed to be relatively calm, but at the end of stage 2, the drafting was more aggressive, the bump drafting, the slam drafting, the drivers that were trying to maintain control of their trucks when they're getting that unstable shove or that unstable push. And it just came to a head 3/4 away down the Alabama Gang super stretch. When it happens at the front of the field, if you're behind that, there's very little room for you to evacuate and not get swept up in it. And we just saw at least 10 to a dozen drivers all crash and collide here in a chaotic crash at the end of the back straightaway.
No place to hide. Absolutely no place to hide when you're running inches apart like that, running down the Alabama Gang super stretch, and somebody gets turned towards the front of the field. If you don't have yourself a good gap away from that lead draft, chances are you're going to be a part of the crash.
All right, let's check down on pit road. It looks like a salvage yard down there. We'll start with Steve Post. You've got a couple of trucks in front of you, and then we'll make our way down to Kim and to Hannah. Steve, you're up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Dylan Lupton's truck is down here, and just looking down and watching it, the crew is just absolutely flogging it with a hammer. And of course, these are finely tuned aerodynamic machines, and they were just taking a mallet to it, as much as frustration as anything else. His is the major one I had with some damage down here. It looks like I've got one more down here. Willie Allen might have a little damage as well. Kim Kuhn, how about in front of you? What's the damage looking like down there?
Well, I am looking at a pretty destroyed Johnny Sauter machine. That Toyota, all 4 corners of it have gotten dusted up, specifically the front end. And they told him over the radio, the crew, hey, we are expecting the red flag, so get as much work as you can done under the yellow. Right now they've brought out saws. They said cut off the front bumper. Again, the front is what sustained the most damage. It just looked like it is completely crunched in. We like to call it cattywampus. So the team working on that, also pulling out the left rear fenders to prevent any tire rubs. The right rear corner of that fender, they're going to have to take a mallet to it to beat things out. So not a good look here at the Johnny Sauter machine. Chandler Smith, also one of my drivers in it, they actually told him, they said, do not put your window net down out there. All we need is a push. They think they'll be continuing to race out here. Austin Hill on the radio after that big crash, he said, guys, I'm sorry, I just couldn't control it. They took the air off my nose, and it just just went straight into the wall.
Tough break, and as they say, that's racing at Talladega. You're riding along, things are good, suddenly crash. You're in it. So unfortunately, with that many trucks collected over there on the banking of turn number 3 and down onto the grass down there in front of the big Xfinity flag, and the red flag has been displayed here at the start-finish line. The rest of the remaining field of trucks, and it's significantly reduced, they are sitting now on the tri-oval banking here, or under the red flag here in Talladega.